Hey there, this is Darren LaCroix with my favorite Nike t-shirt on because it says just do it with hashtags. Okay, this is going to get real fast. And a lot of pros will probably tell me I should have never told that story. I don't care. So a lot of businesses have challenges and mine is no different. Even though I've been doing this for 2 decades, I've been doing this full time for 17 years. There's time when you're going to have challenges, and quite honestly, I reached that about a year ago where I had moved my whole business model, and even though I had a big business with Stage Time University and a lot of money coming in, I made some mistakes, and more money was going out than coming in. I can laugh about it now, but it's been a challenge, and I've talked to a lot of speakers who are pros who, when I confide in them and be really transparent, a lot of them say, yeah, me too. And so I just want you to know, if you're struggling, here's one lesson that I learned, and then I'm going to go real deep, is that if you are bound and determined to get your way through or see yourself through a tough spot, number one, if you're spiritual, meditate. If you're a believer, then do a lot of praying. I spent a lot of time on my knees this year. I really, as you know, watching this, I really try to help people. I love what I do and what I get to do for a living, but just because you're loving it and passionate doesn't mean you don't make some business mistakes. So I got to tell you, I used up all the credit that I had and almost lost my house. And here's the principle. Creativity before credit. Creativity before credit. If you can choose to, you're going to find a way through. And if you don't have the money, be adamant about using creativity. How can I? Keep asking yourself that question over and over again. Because I ran out of credit, so there's no more credit to be had. And I was paying so much interest, it was ridiculous. And so I struggled. I looked. But I got to tell you, I had some nights where when I refused to do any more credit, that I didn't know how I was going to eat. I still have my house, thank God, and things fell in place. But there was some nights that I really didn't know what I was going to do. And I turned it over to God. But sometimes he does things in his time, not my time. And I will tell you, I ran out of money. And I literally, this is a beautiful appetizer. I don't want to spill it on my computer, but I love bread dipped in vinegar and oil. Like, I love that. I was shocked when I went to Italy to find out they don't do that over there. What I found when I committed is I got really creative. And I found other ways. When I didn't have enough money for gas in my own gas tank, I realized, oh, my motorcycle has gas in it. I'm going to use my motorcycle. And when you get creative, you find ways. Hey there, Eden. You find ways. And, I do a lot of praying. But I also had a few nights where this bread and this oil and vinegar, that was my dinner. Literally, that was my dinner. I had no money in my personal bank. Had to even stop paying myself. I needed to continue to pay my staff. But I learned too through creativity that when you're hungry, you'll eat things that are in your cabinet that they've been in there for a while. You get humble real quick too. And so I also learned mac and cheese. Mac and cheese. Yeah, not a big meal, but $1 you can get a box. You know what else I learned when you're really hungry and getting creative is if you just have half a mac and cheese, so if you just have one bowl and you split it into 2 bowls, that 50 cents goes for 2 days. I also had a lot of friends who knew my situation and brought me leftovers, and that was really cool. and I appreciated that. But sometimes we really got to take responsibility and turn things around, and that's why I've had to dive into learning new ways of marketing. But at the same time, literally having a piece of bread and oil and vinegar, like that was dinner. And mac and cheese, like 2 boxes, $1 each, split in half, could be 4 meals for dinner time. It's been tough and challenging at times, but God has come through. I'm not living on the highland just yet, but I just wanted to tell the true story and not hold back. I've actually been wondering if I would say this lesson or if I would share this or not, but the more close friends who are speakers that I shared it with, the more they got it. They nodded their head there and they said, me too. Now, not all of them, but a few of them, a couple of them. And I realized creativity is so important, but when you use credit, it's just, it's a risk. Go to Vegas. You don't know if things are going to turn around. You don't definitely have money coming in. So it can be a challenging business, and it doesn't matter what size your business is. Some people think I have a big business. Some people think I have a huge business. Some people think I have a small business. But whatever it is, more money coming in, going out than coming in, eventually that's going to catch up to you, and it's going to hurt. But if you've also been through that, I want you to know you're not alone. You're not alone. Mac and cheese, not the healthiest thing, but it took care of me. It got me through the times when I didn't have any more, and I refused to try and get more credit. I have to figure this out. So for what it's worth, creativity before credit, or you'll get yourself in trouble like I did, and I don't want you to do that. I'm not a financial guru by any means. I'm a big fan of Financial Peace, Dave Ramsey, brilliant. And I had actually gone through the course when I was starting to struggle. But I had a great friend of mine who's really super smart, and he said, Darren, you don't have a spending problem, you have an income problem. But I ended up having to get rid of cable. My TV died, and I didn't get a new one. A friend of mine actually bought one for me as a gift when I was going through that. So creativity before credit, and just know that you're not alone. We all have tough times, but reach out to your friends, and the better friend you are, the more friends you'll have to reach out to. So I feel fortunate in that area. But creativity before credit. And if you're a believer, I didn't know this until I went through my challenge, that we're not supposed to owe anybody anything. So that made me more adamant not to try and get more credit, but to use creativity. So tell people, share this if you think it's helpful to you or to other people. Please share it. Comment if you care to. If it's really bad and you don't want to comment, private message me. That's cool. But tell your story. Inspire people by example. And we'll see you tomorrow.